13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 11, 10, 9, 8.
I no longer go to bed worrying, how am I going to pay this bill? I go to bed filled with hope and excited to wake up in the morning of who am I going to help tomorrow?
Melaleuca really does live out its mission statement, enhancing the lives of each individual based on what their goals are.
It changes people's lives. I mean, it's not only changed ours, it changes everybody's.
Melaleuca is a vehicle that will take you anywhere that you want to go. Everybody wins, and the future's bright.
It allows my family to live the life we want to live.
Melaleuca offers safety in products and quality, and it gives us comfort in our family and freedom.
Anything really is possible. We are completely debt-free except our home. Melaleuca has changed our entire lives.
Melaleuca really is an answer to give people this vehicle that they can use and start to build a residual income month after month after month.
We have literally stepped into our dream. We are living it because of Melaleuca.
Welcome, everyone, to Melaleuca's Take Control Now broadcast. We're coming to you from our global headquarters in Idaho Falls, Idaho. And this is where Melaleuca develops and powers up exceptional, one-of-a-kind wellness products that enhance lives all over the world. And while our products will always set us apart, the real power source of Melaleuca is you. Thousands of you across North America are sharing Melaleuca with your families and your friends and bringing to your community Melaleuca's life-changing opportunity. Now, regardless of how long you've been with us, or how many people you've referred to shop with Melaleuca, you made the right decision to join us this evening. Now, if you're saying to yourself, it's time to make a change, or I need to make a change, then get ready, take note, and gear up. Because right here, right now, you have the opportunity to literally take control of your life. Thank you for partnering with us and living our mission of enhancing lives. Now more than ever, Melaleuca and each of you are making a real difference in the lives of so many. Let's watch.
I am a special education teacher in New York. I've been teaching for about 19 years. I have a good job that I love, but life is expensive. We have a lot of expenses. We have 2 children, and we just always needed a little extra. So, I was tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
Today, each parent needs 2 to 3 jobs just to survive. I used to have a nighttime job with the New York Daily News. I was a truck driver for many years. And It's hard waking up at nighttime, being in at midnight, leaving your family, driving in the cold, the snow, just leaving your family unattended and losing sleep. And of course, of Melaleuca, it gave me that opportunity to be home with my family and watch my kids wake up, make sure they're okay at nighttime. That's what Melaleuca did for me and my family.
So when I got my first check, I think it was like $2,700, and I was blown away. The compensation plan is like none other. My best friend enrolled right after I did, and she went director two in her first month, our first month. So I got, $600 bonus match on her, and plus my own bonuses and my commission. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really starting to happen. This is what I had always wanted. And I knew that it was possible with Melaleuca. Our total earnings to date with Melaleuca are $213,000. That's just incredible. Like, how is that even possible? All while working a full-time job, commuting. I commute 100 miles a day back and forth from work. And I'm still able to do this. And I have a repeat income that I know is coming in every month.
Our monthly repeat income is $3,336. And how that helps is that puts a roof over our head, puts food on our table. That changed our life totally.
Thanks to Melaleuca, our lives have changed forever. Our health has improved. My house has never been cleaner. That's very important to us. And I don't have to worry anymore. This is exactly what we need. And I cannot ever imagine my life without Melaleuca and without that safety net for our family.
Melaleuca truly does change lives. And while it's changed countless lives for over 37 years, the fact is, we are just getting started. So if you happen to be relatively new to Melaleuca, or you've been with us for a while, you're going to see why now, more than ever, families need what Melaleuca has to offer. And with that said, it's time to meet the person who started it all, Melaleuca's founder and executive chairman, Frank Vandersloot.
Hello. It's good to be with you again, and we've got a lot to talk about. Our business is in a very good place, but in this time of turmoil, inflation is at an all-time high. Interest rates are soaring. The tragedy of war is raging in Ukraine. Supply chains continue to be disrupted. The news media has never been more distrusted, and our nation is politically divided. And with droughts all over Europe and China and the United States, they're telling us that there are now going to be food shortages around the globe. I feel that it's our responsibility to individually to take charge of our own lives and be prepared the best that we can for whatever comes our way. I don't believe the government, any government, is going to take care of us regardless of what they promise us. In fact, history has shown us the more the government gets involved, the worse things are going to get. Even those government leaders with the best of intentions can really screw things up. Now, I'm not going to make any political statements today, but I am going to talk about the economy. I think the economy is important to understand because it has such a huge impact on our lives. And I believe that if we can anticipate what's coming our way, we can be better prepared. We can make better decisions of where to spend our time. We can decide better where to invest, whether now is the time to remodel our home, get a new job, focus on savings, or buy a new car, and so forth. We're confronted with such decisions every day of our lives. And only if we know what's coming our way can we make good decisions regarding our finances. It's like driving a car. If we can see what's coming up around the corner, we can know when to speed up and when to slow down, and even when to change directions or take a better path. I have to believe that you are here today because you share my view that our family's financial status is our own responsibility. If you didn't share that belief, you'd just be at home waiting for the government to fix your problems. But you're here today because you want to make your life better. And you believe that how you act, how you spend your time, the decisions you make have a big impact on your future. So before we take a look at what's coming our direction regarding the economy, first let me report that our business is flourishing around the world. COVID did take a toll in some countries, but we find that our people are resilient and they're bouncing back rapidly. For example, in China, where entire cities were locked down and our employees were locked down in their homes and they were not allowed to come to work for several weeks, China is already back to producing the same revenues. I'm not talking Melaleuca in China is already back to producing the same revenues that they were prior to COVID. And as you know, here in the United States and Canada, we flourished during COVID. We added over 120,000 new preferred customers to our membership ranks. It was the fastest growth we've ever experienced during any one year. And as you know, we've had some pretty rapid growth throughout our history. Average order is up. Retention is up. Commissions are up. The tweaks we made in the compensation plan during convention is paying great dividends. People are rapidly advancing through the leadership ranks. In fact, we had 3 new advancements to executive director just last month. It's clear that our message of repeat income is resonating with people. And since COVID is here to stay, maintaining a healthy immune system continues to be paramount in people's lives. And we have the solution to that. Like everyone else, inflation has affected us in that we've had a few price increases, but we've been able to hold price increases at a much lower level than the national average. And we've now paid out over $6.8 billion in commissions, not to corporate executives and wealthy shareholders, but to households like yours. We want to thank you. I want to thank you for throwing in with us and for joining us in our mission of enhancing lives. There's never been a better time to be building a Melaleuca business. The world needs us now more than ever. And because of what's headed our way, it's going to need us even more. We're forecasting that things are going to get tougher economically before they get better. In order for me to explain why that's going to be the case, we need to talk about what's coming our direction. But before I do that, let's go back just 1 year ago when we announced on a company-wide video call that inflation and supply chain issues were right around the corner. And at the time, no one was talking about inflation or supply chain. In fact, the pundits were all saying that inflation was not going to be any problem whatsoever. That was exactly contrary to what we at Melaleuca were seeing, and I chose to go public and warn our marketing executives about what we saw was coming. You'll recall that I asked you to reach out to your senators and to your U.S. representatives in Congress and plead with them to stop doing these stimulus packages that were causing inflation. That was September of last year, almost exactly 1 year ago. And yet for many months after that, the pundits continued to tell us not to worry and that inflation was simply not going to happen. And then you will recall that when inflation started to show its face, just like we said it would, the pundits introduced us to a new term, a new word that we'd never really used before in our vocabulary. This new word was transitory, which meant temporary. Now, if you haven't noticed in today's environment, much of the national news media is supporting one political party. And whenever the leaders of that political party put out a message, the national news media echo whatever they are told to say by the party that they're supporting. So you'll recall that even several months after we announced that inflation was going to be serious and that it was going to be here to stay, that Janet Yellen, who was then the U.S. and still is the U.S. Secretary of Treasury, was telling the world not to worry because inflation was only going to be transitory. And true to form, all of the news media fell in behind that message right on cue. Let's remind ourselves.
Is there a risk of inflation? I think there's a small risk, and I think it's manageable.
Our best view is that the effect on inflation will be neither particularly large nor persistent. We remain strongly committed to inflation expectations anchored at 2%.
It's just transitory. This won't move anything at the Fed.
It's transitory. It's going to go away.
Inflation pressures are going to be transitory. Transitory means non-permanent.
It's transitory. There is a possibility inflation could actually be quite low going forward.
Inflation is transitory.
Inflation is in fact going to prove transitory.
Transitory or not?
It's transitory.
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 It's a term. What it really means is temporary.
We're going to see inflation like we've never experienced inflation in our lifetime.
The recent bout of inflation will in fact prove transitory.
Transitory.
Inflation is transitory.
In the second half of the year, I think we'll see a return to levels close to 2%.
These inflation rises will be transitory.
I believe that they're transitory.
For months, we had heard from officials in the White House, the Federal Reserve, and experts on Wall Street that inflation was just going to be a temporary thing. But there's a growing sense that inflation is not going away anytime soon, that prices are probably not going to fall back to earth just yet. And, unfortunately, the latest numbers suggest that inflation may get worse before it gets better.
I think it's probably a good time to retire that word.
Look, I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take. As I mentioned, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that I at the time didn't fully understand.
So, the U.S. government and the press continued to tell us that inflation was going to be transitory several months after we at Melaleuca warned that it was not going to be transitory. Of course, now we know who was right. Of course, Janet Yellen is surrounded by all of these high-powered economists. Supposedly, she's got the best minds in the world advising her. Now you have to ask yourself this question. Are we at Melaleuca that much smarter than the U.S. Secretary of Treasury and all of her economists? Or are they intentionally telling us something that they know isn't true? It's got to be one or the other. They either didn't know and were just clueless, or they did know, but they didn't want us to know. So they told us something that they knew not to be true. It has to be one or the other. Do you think that we're that much smarter than they are? That's scary to believe. They're running the country. And if they were telling us what they really believed, then we're in real trouble. And if they were lying to us, that's equally as scary. In my opinion, there's no way in the world that anybody with any elementary understanding of Economics 101 that would believe back then that we were not going to be hit hard with inflation. But if they knew, why did they tell us something that they knew wasn't true? And why is the press willing to repeat, word for word, a story that all economists know or should have known is false, when they knew that they're going to be proven wrong in just a few months when the truth eventually became evident and undeniable? Well, it's simply that the press is going all out to get a certain party elected, and they hope the public is either too foolish or too distracted to figure it out. And they're hoping that after they're proven wrong, they'll just be able to apologize to the public and say, I'm sorry, I guess we were wrong, and they hope that we won't remember what they told us in the first place. Now, 10 months after we at Melaleuca said on our video conference call that inflation was going to be serious and that it was going to be here to stay for a long time, the government finally, 10 months later, finally admitted that we were right. But only after it became so evident to the American public that they could no longer stick to their false narrative that inflation was not going to be a problem. Now, this is not the first time that Melaleuca has been out front, in fact, way out front, in warning our people what's going to be coming around the corner. We forecasted the dot-com bubble was going to burst 6 months before it actually burst. We were able to make that forecast because of some inside data that we had in the marketplace. And in 2008, we stood alone in forecasting that the housing bubble was going to burst almost a year before home prices came crashing down. That was not because of inside data. It was simply because of what was evident at the time. And I've had countless of numbers of people tell me how grateful they were and are that we pointed out those issues long before they happened because it affected their life decisions and it saved them from making seriously costly financial mistakes. In listening to some of those stories, I've become convinced that it's really valuable and important to be able to see around corners and anticipate what's coming our way. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. Again, we're not gurus. It's simply a factor of Economics 101. And just to be clear, we're not the only ones that see what we see. Of course, the true economists are not foolish. They can see the same things that we see. But things are so political. Economists don't want to ruin their reputation or good standing by being the only one who speaks out. The problem is that politics are so strong these days that unless you're saying the same thing as the party in power is saying, you're going to get hammered for speaking the truth. So economists typically wait until there are a whole lot of other people who are willing to say the same thing that they're willing to say, and then they can speak with one voice. And they generally wait to report on what's happening until it has already happened, rather than forecasting what's coming. But here at Melaleuca, we seek truth wherever we can find it. And we're willing to speak the truth, even when it's politically incorrect or unpopular to do so. We think truth has great value, regardless of where it comes from, and we're willing to address it sometimes when no one else is willing to do so. And I want to make clear that we at Melaleuca are not trying to make any political statement here. We simply believe it's our responsibility to take care of our marketing executives and to inform them what we see is headed our way. I don't think it's okay to lie to people under any circumstance. At Melaleuca, we have a saying, the truth is good enough. So with that preface, let me tell you what I believe is coming our way. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is the future as we see it. Inflation is here to stay for a while, for a long while. As long as the government keeps pumping dollars into the economy, we will have more inflation. It's simply Economics 101. If you throw more money into the economy, someone's going to spend it. And that creates demand. And when demand goes up, prices go up accordingly. Let me show you. This is where inflation was prior to the first stimulus. This is what happened with inflation after the stimulus. Unfortunately, even with good intentions, the $737 billion Inflation Reduction Act is going to do the opposite. It's going to cause more inflation. I wish that wasn't the case, but it simply is. The Federal Reserve is now admitting what we knew and predicted over a year ago regarding inflation. They're now admitting that inflation is here to stay for a long time. In fact, they are now saying that inflation is the greatest threat to our economy. And to slow down inflation, they've increased interest rates recently dramatically. Now, I'm going to make a very bizarre statement. I'm going to forecast that although inflation is here to stay, that home prices are going to come down. In other words, while other prices are going up, home prices are going to come tumbling down. In fact, today is not a good day to go out and buy a home. Not yet. Wait at least 3 to 6 months, maybe a little longer. You'll see a lot more homes come on the market. Just 2 months ago, you could not find a home to buy, and prices were outrageous. But in a few months, because of higher interest rates, you're going to find that there will be many more homes for sale. But because of high interest rates, no one will be able to afford to buy them. And eventually, home prices will get a lot more reasonable, or they simply won't sell. But even if they do get more reasonable, most people won't be able to afford to buy them because of the high interest rates. The inventory of unsold homes is already starting to grow, and here's why. Let's suppose that Bill and Mary have an income of, let's say, $80,000, and according to lending institutions with an $80,000 annual household income, Bill and Mary would be approved for a house payment of about $2,300 a month. Now, when interest rates were at 2.7%, like they were just a few months ago, $2,300 per month would buy a $440,000 home. But now, with interest rates at 6.2%, since so much of the payment now goes to interest, $2,300 a month will only be enough to purchase a $290,000 home. And a $290,000 home is a far cry from a $440,000 home. The problem is that there are millions of Bills and Marys in the country. And with these high interest rates, very few Bills and Marys are going to be able to afford a $400,000 house or a $500,000 home. And in today's market, in order for someone to sell a home, they're going to have to greatly reduce the price in order to get it to a price range that people will be able to afford to buy. Home prices are already starting to come down. The reason that they were so high in the first place was because of the low interest rates. But with high interest rates, home builders are going to stop building homes because no one can afford to buy them. The prices of building material will therefore also come down. And of course, hundreds of thousands of workers in the construction industry are going to be laid off. Now, there'll be other layoffs as well. Companies are already beginning to cut back and laying off thousands of employees. Here is a recent list. You will note that Melaleuca has not announced any layoffs, and we will not. Now, gas prices will continue to be high because the government is not allowing oil companies to drill for oil. Food prices will also continue to remain high, and they're likely to get much higher. China is experiencing serious drought. So is Europe. So is the United States. We expect these food shortages are going to cause an increase in food prices around the world. Unfortunately, our nation is now experiencing a recession. In order to counter that story, the government is changing the definition for recession. They're just going to call it something different. Is that weird or what? And although the news pundits will be instructed not to use the word recession, it appears we will be experiencing a recession for at least the near future, even though they don't want to call it that. There will be more people looking for work. Just a few months ago, employers could not find enough workers. Now that's going to change. With all the thousands of layoffs around the country, there are going to be many people looking for work. That means wages are not going to keep up with inflation because employers will learn that they do not have to increase wages in order to recruit people. So we could have a very convoluted situation that our nation has never experienced before. Inflation and a recession at the same time. It's crazy. We've never seen that before in our history, and the feds are going to have a hard time dealing with it. They fear inflation and a recession. They fear both, but apparently they fear inflation more. That's why they're increasing interest rates. But before you get too worried, let me explain that all of this is good for Melaleuca. And just like COVID drove so many businesses out of business, Melaleuca prospered because of COVID. Now, we don't celebrate anyone else's misfortune, but this unfortunate situation about the economy is going to be greatly to our benefit. because we have the solution. In regards to your family's financial planning, if you have a low interest rate, you're in good shape. Keep the mortgage and keep the house. The higher interest rates are not going to affect you much at all because unless you're going to buy a new home or a new car, so simply don't plan to buy a new home for a while. Wait for housing prices to come down, and they will. The price of building materials are also going to decrease dramatically. It's going to cost a lot less to build a home 6 months from now or a year from now than it did 6 months ago. And there's going to be lots of home builders looking for work. In fact, with the economy slowing down, there are going to be hundreds of thousands of employees laid off. People need a plan B. And again, we have the solution. People will need more income because their paycheck will not keep up with the rate of inflation. Melaleuca can solve that. Marketing executives who have the wisdom to get busy with their Melaleuca business will have a tremendous advantage and will be in really good shape. During COVID, we recommended that we focus more on the wellness advantages of being a Melaleuca customer. And now, I suggest it's time to focus more on the business opportunity in our presentations. I'm not suggesting we drop the wellness message, not at all. Wellness and vitality are key to our success. Our superior products are the reasons we have the best business opportunity in the universe, and we'll continue to have COVID with us for the next several decades. We'll have the flu season, the cold season, and the COVID season. And a good immune system will continue to be our best defense. And we provide the solution. But now, in addition to needing to be well, people will be needing more money, much more than they did previously. And we have the solution to that also. Tough times are coming. But if you have the wisdom to get busy with your Melaleuca business and provide the solution that we have to your friends and to your neighbors, not only will they prosper, but you will prosper, even during these tough economic times. So here's the bottom line. Home prices are going to come down. Building supplies are going to come down in price. Some prices are going to remain high, however. Prices for gasoline, food, consumer goods are going to remain high and get even higher. With all the corporate layoffs, the shortage of workers should go away. Well, some companies are cutting back, others will be hiring new employees, but because of the additional employees in the marketplace, wages will not keep up with inflation. Now, if you listen to the news pundits, they'll be telling you a much different story. But once again, you'll see who's right. I suggest it's time we give ourselves permission to believe our own eyes. Even if you have a sworn allegiance to any particular political persuasion, I think it's imperative that you give yourself permission to stop believing what they tell you and give yourself permission to believe your own experience and the experience of your family and of your neighbors. Now, our opportunity has never been better because we have the solution. Just like COVID, this is going to be good for us, and we're going to tweak the compensation plan a bit today. Jerry Felton has been the CEO of Melaleuca now for just a little over 3 months, and he's already making a tremendous contribution. The tweaks that we're making today in the compensation plan come directly from him. Jerry made these tweaks in some of our international markets more than a year ago. We've watched the results, and we're very excited about it. And he is now bringing those same changes to our compensation plan in the United States and Canada. You'll see that there's a lot to be excited about. I'm very excited about it because I've seen the results in those other markets. And we've asked Kevin Sommer to introduce these changes to you. And after Kevin, we will hear a word from our CEO, Jerry Felton.
Thank you, Frank. You know, there is no financial opportunity that compares to the power of the Melaleuca compensation plan. We offer unparalleled wellness products to people who really want them. And all compensation, every dollar of the $6.8 billion so far at Melaleuca is based on the sale of exceptional products to happy shoppers. It's the most powerful compensation plan in history and only true source of repeat income we know. And every month your check means more than paying down debt or peace of mind. It means more people are gaining control of their future. Families are healthier, their homes are safer, and our planet is greener. There's no compensation plan like it anywhere. And today, when the world needs us more than ever before, we have some key enhancements to the Melaleuca compensation plan that will change the game forever. Now first, let's start with Melaleuca's most successful, powerful, and lucrative promotion of all time, the Pacesetter program. The Pacesetter program rewards new business builders for building with urgency, and it rewards you for helping them. It was launched in 1998, and well, take a look at what has happened since, right here in North America. And now today, at a time when extra income has become a necessity for families, we're going to make our compensation plan even better, beginning with a stronger and more clear path to senior director. And with that in mind, to help you maximize the compensation plan by developing even more directors, we're increasing the Pacesetter Director and Pacesetter Director 2 bonuses. These enhancements will also replace the Right Start bonus. And starting today, we have something simpler and much more lucrative. Now, as you know, the advancement bonus for a new director is $100. And if they reach director on Pacesetter timeframe, that amount is doubled to $200. And effective immediately when your new personal advances to director in Pacesetter timeframe, the bonus amount is changing to a total of $300. That's a 50% increase, and not a bad way to offset 9% inflation. And currently, the Director 2 bonus is $200, which is doubled to $400 when reached on Pacesetter timeframe. And now, the Director 2 Pacesetter bonus is also increasing by 50% and will be a total of $600 going forward. And yes, that means you can earn matching mentoring bonuses on these new amounts as you help others advance on Pacesetter. Now imagine how your overviews and strategy sessions will take on a whole new feeling as you walk them through these enhancements. Never has it been more lucrative to begin your Melaleuca journey. Never have our current marketing executives had more to offer, and never has it been more needed in our economy. There's no doubt this will mean more directors, more advancements, and more winning. So what about Directors 3 through 9, you may ask? Well, we have something else for you, but before we get there, I want to announce another enhancement to the Pacesetter program. The current Pacesetter program gives new marketing executives 2 months following the month of enrollment to advance to director, and 1 month for each advancement through Director 9, and then 2 months to advance to senior director on the Pacesetter schedule. Now, as we've reviewed the numbers, we've learned that Directors 9 don't really need the 2 months. They're anxious to go car shopping, they have the momentum, and as we looked at it, in the past 12 months, not a single Director 9 needed the extra month. But the biggest jump in the Pacesetter program is from Director 3 to Director 4. That's where the compensation plan asks you to develop your second director and double your volume. The data tells us that's a better place to offer the additional month. So going forward, we are moving the extra month from Director 9 and adding it to help our Directors 3 stay on Pacesetter schedule to Director 4 and beyond. These Pacesetter enhancements will mean stronger directors achieving more success and more advancing on Pacesetter timeframe than ever before. Now, at convention in May, we launched the new critical activity bonus, but only for senior directors and above, and it has been a game changer. It's called the critical activity bonus because you earn it by consistently doing the 7 critical business building activities. Specifically, by focusing on the first 3 activities, adding names to your contact list, setting appointments, and doing overviews. The same activities that result in personally enrolling and helping others reach their goals. And it's earned by doing things within their control. Now, a couple weeks ago, we caught up with Executive Directors 2, Sarah and Jake Montreal. Here's what they had to say about the critical activity bonus.
We have earned $24,000 since the critical activity bonus started. And the reason it's so important to us as a family and being a dad at home is really knowing that we're in control. It's kind of become a repeat income for us. And it's something that we know if we're doing the work, we can count on it being there. And we are able to put that all the way into our savings and continue to build the savings for our children.
So we have earned $8,000 with the critical activity bonus every single month since it started. So for the last 3 months, we've earned $8,000 a month. That is huge for us. We are currently at a residual or a repeat income of about $5,000. So when we tack on that additional $8,000, we're looking at $14,000 for our family. You can only imagine what that has given us for availability and flexibility with finances. And like Jake had said, it creates a repeat for us because we know that we can go achieve it next month and the next month and the next month, and it can be a stable income and not just a bonus.
We are in control of the bonus, and I love that we don't have to worry about other people. We have absolute control of the income and the bonus that we're provided.
That has truly been the game changer for me. I have worked harder in the last 3 months than I have all year, but it also is because I have that bonus available to me, and why would I ever not do it?
There is power in focusing on what we can control. And Sarah and Jake are just one of the hundreds in the senior and higher ranks who have benefited from this game-changing bonus. In fact, since launching this bonus, we've seen a 43% increase in enrollments among all senior directors and higher. Commissions are up, and more are earning bonuses than ever before. And the number of these businesses growing has increased by 72% over the previous year. So now let's talk about directors 3 through 9. What if I told you we had a brand new bonus for you? A bonus that would allow directors 3 through 9 to earn an additional $250 to $500 a month every month. To earn everything you're earning today, plus an additional $250 to $500 every single month. And you could begin to earn it this month by consistently doing the critical business building activities and living our mission to help others. Now, today we're pleased to announce the critical activity bonus for directors 3 through 9. And here's how it works. Beginning this month, when you have a 3-month average of 4 new personally enrolled preferred members, along with a 90% retention rate among your personally enrolled members, you will earn $250 that month. That's $250 a month by simply enrolling an average of 4 members a month. That's $3,000 a year on top of all other commissions and bonuses. And now it gets even better, because just like in our senior director ranks, we have a second tier where you can qualify to double your critical activity bonus. That's $500 each month. Now, in order to double your bonus, you'll need to meet these 3 criteria. First, do the same as the other bonus by enrolling an average of 4. Or you can enroll an average of 2 in the last 3 months and grow your business or number of personals over the previous month. Either option will fulfill the first criteria. Then, if you've developed a new director or director 3 in the past 3 months, and of course have a 90% or higher retention of your personals, you will qualify to double the critical activity bonus to $500. That's up to a $6,000 raise by doing the critical business building activities, enrolling customers, and helping them advance to director or director 3. So here's my advice. Consistently enroll at least 4 new members a month, every month, to ensure at a minimum you'll earn the $250 critical activity bonus. Then as you find the business partners, help them advance to director so you can qualify for the $500 critical activity bonus for the next 3 months. And as long as they maintain director, they will count for 3 months. That will also give you some time to help them advance to director 3, because when they advance to director 3, they'll count again for another 3 months. And as you continue to do these activities, you'll continue to develop your new directors and fill your pipeline with future leaders. That's $500 a month for up to 6 months from that leader alone, simply from the critical activity bonus. Now, what kind of difference would that $500 a month make for you and your family? And for the families on your contact list? Who do you need to add to your contact list right now who needs this opportunity? And remember, as you do these activities, think about how your business will benefit. Along the way, you'll be earning mentoring, expanded mentoring bonuses, and will almost certainly advance your business at the same time. And the most powerful part is you'll be growing your life-changing repeat income. And also keep in mind, as your personals advance to Director 3, they can begin to earn the critical activity bonus themselves. You'll both be on your way to Senior Director, where the bonuses get even bigger. And speaking of Senior Director bonuses, let's take a look at the critical activity bonus for Senior Directors and higher. Currently, Senior Directors can earn up to $2,000 per month, Executive Directors up to $8,000, and National through Presidential Directors up to $12,000 a month. And the bigger benefit, as I mentioned before, is the increase in enrollments, growth, and repeat income. Now, here's how it works for our Senior Directors and higher. They do these 3 things to earn: have an average of 2 enrollments over the past 3 months, and either grow their preferred member count or grow their number of personal enrollees over the previous month. And of course, have a 90% or higher retention of your personals, and develop a director in the past 3 months. Every month these 3 criteria are met, those in the Senior Director ranks earn $1,000, the Executive Director ranks earn $4,000, and Nationals through Presidential Directors earn $6,000. But they can double their critical activity bonus if they've developed a Director 3 in the past 3 months. Well, today we have an exciting enhancement for their bonus. While it is vital that you continue to fill your leadership pipeline with new directors, we also understand the importance of continuing to help the new directors in their journey to senior director and beyond. Now again, to qualify for the first tier, one requirement is to develop a director in the past 3 months. Well, going forward, when a senior director or higher develops a new first-time director 4 through senior director, that advancement will fulfill the director requirement to earn the first tier of the critical activity bonus. So for the first tier, leaders qualify when they meet all 3 criteria and in the past 3 months have developed either a director or a director 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or senior director. And of course, when they've developed a new director 3 in the past 3 months, the bonus is doubled. Now, some of you senior directors and higher have struggled to determine exactly how many personal enrollments you need each month in order to grow that number of personals. And you often don't know that until the end of the month. And at that point, it can be too late. So we're going to help you out and give you that number right now. Beginning immediately when a senior director or higher has a 3-month average of 4 new customers rather than the 2, the growth requirement is waived. That means today forward, for senior directors and higher, a 3-month average of 4 new enrollments will fulfill the growth requirement for the regular or the double amount. And in addition to that, a new director 4 through senior director will fulfill the director requirement for the first tier. If you have any questions on the Pacesetter enhancements, the Director 3 through 9 critical activity bonus, or the enhancements to the critical activity bonus for senior directors and higher, you can find it all on the frequently asked questions on the melaleuca.com Business Center shortly after this broadcast. Now, I want to talk to those who are not yet senior director. Today, you've seen even more reasons to work towards senior director. And with these new Pacesetter enhancements and your new critical activity bonus, the path to senior director and beyond has never been more clear. As you consistently do these life-changing critical activities and personally enroll customers, develop directors, and help them advance to Director 3, you'll be well on your way to senior director, and you'll consistently earn the critical activity bonus. You'll be doing the activities that will grow and advance your business, and all the while, you'll be growing the most powerful part of the compensation plan, your reliable, life-changing repeat income. And you can choose to take control today. You can choose to give yourself a raise today. It's in your hands. The world needs us now more than ever before. Families are in trouble. They need the peace of mind that we have. And at a time they need it most, you happen to have a life-changing solution. So let's get the word out.
At Convention 2022, when they announced the critical activity bonus, a light bulb went off. I came home and I started dreaming again, really, really big. And we've been building this business for 10 years. There's been periods where we've gotten really comfortable. We kind of settled in, like, this is it. This is what we're going to be earning. This is how we have to design our life based on this income.
And we got stuck there. Honestly, when you do that and you get into management mode, that puts you in a flat spot, and it's turning that ship back around, getting that whole ball moving again, which is very hard. It's doable. You just have to dive back in like you're restarting your business. And it's so neat with Melaleuca that you can do that.
You guys, with these critical activity bonuses, we can help people start dreaming again, beyond just surviving, thriving again, and living the life that they deserve and the life of their dreams. We can all do it.
Critical activity bonus for us has been absolutely phenomenal. $8,000 bonus for the past 3 months has allowed us to invest money, pay things off, really do some serious financial planning. And it just shows you again that the critical activities with Melaleuca really work. If you follow them throughout, you do them consistently. I mean, to add $24,000 to your yearly income within a matter of 3 months because of this bonus is amazing. The fact that you are complete control over your actions, doing the activity and earning the amount of money that Melaleuca has set up for you, doing those steps, step by step, critical activities 1 through 7, and you're going to get awarded for it astronomically.
The fact that we can just do the activities that we are supposed to do anyway, that are the critical activities, yet can earn $8,000 a month each and every month. We can add that to our family's income and help other people do that as well. And that's what Melaleuca does. They continue. I've been here for 10 years, you guys. And for 10 years, they continue to make it better and better and better. And we're thankful that this is within our control. We know that we can do the critical activities and we can determine our family's paycheck each and every month. Having the enroll for puts you in the driver's seat, no matter if you have customers cancel. I think before we were seeing, gosh, on the last day if someone cancels, we're on the bubble for this bonus. And what happens if we have a cancellation? Well, now that's not the case. Now it's like we are in the driver's seat. We do the work. We meet the criteria. We guarantee that bonus for your family. And I think it's awesome. And then the new bonus for Director 3 through Director 9, gosh, an extra $250 or $500 every single month is exactly what families need. This is incredible. Since they launched this critical activity bonus, we are dreaming really, really big over here. It gives everybody the opportunity to earn significant income every single month just by doing the right activities.
Wow, what a great perspective that was. And now, everybody, stay tuned, because coming up next, we're going to hear from Melaleuca CEO Jerry Felton with a very important message. Before we get there, the September promotion is unbelievable. You have dollar memberships through the 21st, and an Enroll 2 and Enroll 4 promotion you're definitely going to want to earn. You've already seen the power of consistently enrolling, and that begins for you in the month of September. And now, while some of you have met our CEO, Jerry Felton, for the first time at convention earlier this year, he is no stranger to Melaleuca. Quite the opposite. Jerry has been with Melaleuca for 14 years, and he is a phenomenal leader and one of the very top executive management talents anywhere. I'm honored to introduce to you Melaleuca CEO, Jerry Felton.
Well, thank you, Darren. I hope by now you are seeing the vision and the possibilities based on what we've just announced. And as we close this broadcast, I've got a few thoughts I'd like to share. Take control now. The message is simple, but it takes on great meaning if you take the time to personalize it. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for your family? What does it mean for your team? And most important, what does it mean for your future? As Kevin mentioned, we launched the Critical Activity Bonus for senior directors and above at convention a few short months ago. He mentioned a few details related to those results. We've seen more enrollments, we've seen more new directors developed, and we're celebrating more advancing directors through Directors 9 from our senior directors and above. And those same leaders are earning more and increasing their repeat income as a result of focusing on the critical activities and the critical activity bonus. I mentioned at convention that we've had the critical activity bonus in our international markets for some time. The results are exactly the same. Now, the power is in the focus on the critical activities. And with it available to Director 3s through Director 9s in your organization, the power of duplication and the power of numbers will drive more of the same activity and the same results in your business. But it won't happen automatically. Yes, of course, you want to personally engage in the critical activities that will result in more personal enrollments and more personal directors and above that you are helping. So yes, lead yourself. But equally important, I encourage you to organize your team, organize your organization, set goals together, be committed together, be accountable to each other, to the activity that will help you and your entire team earn the bonus each month. And as you do, your organization will flourish. You will grow your repeat income. You and your team will help more and more people discover Melaleuca, and as a result, you will be advancing your business. Think of it this way. If you want to advance to a new high status, or you want to help others advance to a new high status, focus on the critical activity bonus and help others do the same. The advancements will come. With the enhancements Kevin just announced to the Pacesetter program, we will be helping people see more clearly the possibilities as we introduce Melaleuca to them. And as a leader and someone who is helping others through their Melaleuca journey, the critical activity bonus gives you another relevant and important reason for helping someone advance to Director 3. So if you're not at Director 3 yet, take control. Get there. It will be well worth it. And for all of you developing new directors, the arrows pointing to Director 3 have never been greater or more clear. I'm thrilled for the enhancements we've made, and I'm excited for the opportunity you have in front of you. And for you senior directors and above, we've given you even greater control through what we've just announced. These enhancements will help you and your team advance your business and increase your repeat income if you make a decision to take control. Now, let me speak to something else these enhancements represent. As you listen to Frank's comments and as you've been paying attention, tough times are here. Businesses are struggling. They're not growing. In fact, most are declining. And when the top line declines, companies have to make tough decisions in order to protect their bottom line. And some of the first things to go are people, employees. And unfortunately, tens of thousands of people have been laid off just in the last couple of months. That means tens of thousands of families and their lives have been turned upside down. But not at Melaleuca. We continue to invest in our business and our future. Better said, the enhancements we've just announced reflect the investment we are making in you and in your company. We're strong, we're resilient, we're debt-free, and we're solid. The challenges the world faces are our opportunities. We are in control. And working together, we're able to help more people discover the products they need in their home and discover a solid and safe way to take control of their financial future. Of course, helping others discover Melaleuca requires your engagement in the critical activities of meeting people and adding names to your contact list, making approaches, and introducing Melaleuca with a full overview so that people understand why they need our products, why our business opportunity works, and why it would be beneficial to them. So many people need us now more than ever, and nobody is advertising the struggles they're having. I encourage you to assume that everyone is struggling a bit financially, and I encourage you to have the confidence to know that everyone needs us, everyone needs our products, and everyone is concerned about their financial future. So share it with everyone, with confidence. Let them decide whether they need us or not. I encourage you to take control now. Dismiss the challenges, dismiss the noise, embrace the opportunities, help others discover what you've discovered. We're more relevant now than we've ever been. In fact, wellness has never been more relevant. Financial wellness has never been more relevant. We are the solution. Melaleuca is the solution. We have what the world needs. We have what the country needs. We have what your neighbor needs. You're in the right place, and I'm so excited and confident for the future we share. And I look forward to celebrating you and our future successes together. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for joining our mission of enhancing lives.